how my life be different when Yachad did? It'd be hard.
I can't begin to describe what our lives would be like without Yachad. I dread to think whether we would be forced to accept non-Jewish social outlets.
Without Yachad, I'll be lonely.
There were so many moments that were just difficult being home and challenging, and especially during Shabbosim when there's not much you can do to entertain a child with a disability. But we really didn't know much about what Yachad has to offer. Little did I know what Yachad would really mean to me.
My dear son is 26 years old and has Down syndrome. 26 years ago, the world was a different place. Members of the special needs population and the handicapped were hidden in the closet. And it was a very frightening, scary place for parents of children with special needs.
It was sometime in the early 80s during my presidency of the Orthodox Union. And I recall Rabbi Rafi Butler, who was then the head of NCSY, brought Hannah Zweiter to me, who clearly is the originator of the entire idea.
Hannah had the idea that the OU could be very beneficial in being directly involved in trying to programmatically and otherwise benefit the developmentally disabled.
To me, it was an instant no-brainer. A, the need was there, and B, the most appropriate shidduch was the Orthodox Union. And we see what has happened since.
The reason that I brought Yachad, or the idea of Yachad, to the OU and to NCSY is because I knew it had a potential of being a movement. It had a potential of banding peoples from different parts of the Jewish community together. It's not just about kids with special needs. It's about how the whole Jewish community accepts the people with special needs.
Fortunately, once we decided it's a go, the advocates started coming out of the woodwork.
There were certainly years and years where I felt like I was a one-person advertising agency. I had to, put on emotional armor and go out there and say, hey, we're here. This is our situation. It doesn't make us any different from anybody else. And I want you to know me. I want you to know my child, just as we would if that were not the case.
What Yachad did, which was so transformative, was to take people with disabilities and bring them into your living room, so to speak, and allowed many of these myths and many of these misconceptions and many of the fears to dissipate and change.
Yachad has opened up really a full life for my son, to have weekends, the famous Shabbatons, to have trips to Israel, mind-boggling. For a parent with a special needs child to think that his special needs child could have a tour of Israel.
Yachad is a summer program with high schoolers and Yachad members. We went to Israel for 5 weeks, and it was just enjoyable to be with the Yachad members and be with other people who haven't seen Israel like I did. You build this bond with the Yachad members and your friends that you would never get if you didn't participate in Yachad.
A lot of kids have different options for the summer, but they felt it was important for them to give some experiences and share experiences with people who were less fortunate than they were, and they really enjoyed what they were doing.
I think at the first family Shabbaton we went to, it hit us. We needed the respite, we needed the break, we needed the support of Yachad.
The Shabbaton means that the Yachad members are involved together with the community in the davening and in Divrei Torah and in meals, and that's the experience of learning and teaching.
It helped us a lot. It gave us a chance to connect with our other children and give them time. And it gave Chaim a chance to shine. He was given the ability to make people laugh and have a great personality.
my very Yachad friend in the Shamton, and I got married April 2nd of 2000. So is my wife, and I met her at the Shabbat in Flatbush. I wasn't raising, and Torah was in senior, so a lot of wanted her to come to the Shamton, because a lot of wanted me to introduce me to her. All my friends and my women I met at the Shabbaton and the Yachad friends.
I remember being taken aback. We're on one Shabbaton, you know, it ends the next day, Sunday, Monday, I'm already getting calls about the next Shabbaton. Seeing that excitement, it just made me realize when it all came together, it wasn't just about serving, you know, 3 meals and you know, davening and dancing. We really created something that really changed people's lives.
We began as a social recreational program, and about 15 years ago, we took a year to do a study of the disability landscape and how could we best respond to those needs. And it was at that point in time that we determined that we would not only provide direct services in many different areas, but would also provide resources in all areas of disability, serving all people with disabilities.
Yachad is a multi-purpose organization. It's internationally active. Besides the Shabbatoni, there are sports programs, there are tours. It also extends to people who are the hard of hearing. There are all kinds of different activities that are geared toward Yachad individuals.
In all of the different areas that we are involved in and work, finding jobs for people with disabilities remains the single greatest challenge.
The special needs population is so blessed today to have resources that were not there before. And one of the resources is to find vocational opportunities for people to work. And my store was a perfect fit for Seth to come and work here. He loves books, he does an amazing job, and to have that opportunity is so important and gives them such worth and such satisfaction.
I love working here. I do deliveries for my boss. Then I also do on the computer internet stuff, put books on there for him. It's very nice. The staff treat me like family.
Yachad had a job coach coming on a regular basis so that, you know, now he's a fully integrated employee. He's been here now more than 3 years, and he's just doing an amazing job.
I do love Yachad because it get me to do things. Going on Shabbatons, going on different trips, getting together with new people that we don't know.
If Yachad weren't around, I'd be at home doing nothing. It's not a pleasant thing.
No Shabbaton, no Yachad event like the sports and stuff. So when Yachad, it'd be like boring.
My kids and their friends and peers have grown up in an entirely different community, a community where they look at people who are different than them in a different way.
It teaches you about giving and about sharing and about treating people and accepting people for what they are. And I think that's really the purpose of Yachad, to expose these children and to give them an opportunity to interact and to grow from the experience and just be a more whole, accepting, and total human being.
When it comes to children, there simply is no second. Every individual is a world all of his or her own, with their own feelings, sensitivities, dreams, pains, hurts, and it's our job and the job of the Jewish community to aid that person in developing the overall personality for his or her lifetime.
The Rebbe always said people should do acts of kindness, and we've come to admire the Yachad community for their act of kindness.
I cannot imagine what our lives would be like without Yachad, or what Tamar's life would be like without Yachad. It's just so fundamental to her existence that we really couldn't do without it.
It gave us time to relax and appreciate what we have, whatever challenges we were given. It's nice to see that there's this organization that does this act of kindness towards the kids and the families. It helped us a lot.